What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gersh1.
And today we're back to answer more questions from you guys in another installment of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewers. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. We've been doing this for so many years that at this point, I don't even know what I'm really saying. I just say it.
It just flows.
It flows. This question comes from Just Kano. If Terra was destroyed, would WAAAGH become the new home/HQ of humanity? So in other words, what planet could replace Terra if Terra should fall? And I think you're on the right track. Mm-hmm. I think that when it comes to fortress worlds or core worlds, WAAAGH would be a good one because it's a good balance of protection, defense, and humanity. Like there's still citizens living on WAAAGH. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you look at Fenris, which would be the home world of the Space Wolves, sure, it's really protected. It could deter an invasion from Magnus and the Inquisition, but it's feral world.
Yeah,
so.
They've got blazing summers, frigid winters. The flora and the fauna is out to get you. So it is defendable. It just would be a really crappy place to live in.
Yeah. So when you look at a place that's good to live in and for it to be the hub of humanity, you are looking for the WAAAGHs, the Biles. Well, is it? Yeah, because the fortress world, or the fortress of the Blood Angels is on the moon. Right. Bile itself is actually the planet, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, places like that. Can you think of any other place?
Not really. Like, to me, the if you're going to make the Imperium Secundus, or like the second empire, the second base for humanity, it's got to be in the Ultramar sector, and WAAAGH and just the Ultramarines in general seem to be like the perfect place to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's why I went like that, because it was like Bal's very far east or northeast, right? Kind of.
I believe so.
And then you have.
Yeah, far east.
Or close your eyes and look at the Astronomicon. Where is it? Okay. Yeah, and then so you have WAAAGH right down here. So the Great Rift is like that, so it splits both of them.
Right.
But then if you look at the Tempestus or the what's the other segmentum? The Pacificus. Mm-hmm. I can't really think of any worlds that are big, other than like in the west, you have, what's the one with the Imperial Guardsmen that wear the masks? Not Death Corps of Krieg, but they wear like the...
the Steel Legion.
No, that's Armageddon. Okay. And I think that's on the Solar Segmentum, or the Soul Segmentum. I can't remember, but...
But you're talking about they have the same like gas masks, right?
No, it's not really a gas mask. It's like they're impersonating the face of a saint. Something with an M, I want to say. But yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
You guys probably know better. But, like, yeah, there are certain areas that are really, like, meaningful because of, like, religious purposes and fortress worlds in those segmentums. Right. But I don't think none that really call out. Yeah. Unless I'm missing something really, really obvious, which I probably am.
I was going to say maybe like a Sisters of Battle world or something like that. Because, again, the Saints, Cardinals, that kind of thing.
That would be in the Tempestus segmentum. And I think it was where they put the... Because there's two different... what are they called? I'm just mixing my head up. But you know how in the Sisters of Battle there's two orders? They're not called orders. They're called...
Like the Militant and...
No, because it's like... I wish I could remember.
I'm trying to match brainwaves here.
Yeah. No, I can't remember. But yeah, there's probably more. What would be cool, because like you got to remember that Terra itself is at the kind of core of the galaxy, not really. Mm-hmm. But you have like, if that area is gone, let's say like the Golden Throne is destroyed and a giant second Eye of Terror has opened up on Terra, what you would have to do is not create another Terra so close to a second eye. Right. So you would try to stay away as far away from the Great Rift, and then the Eye of Terror up north, and then I think up north is Tempestus. What would be the bottom? I don't know. But like, so now you have the core of the Sol system with an Eye of Terror. Up north, the Eye of Terror, and then to the west, no, to the east, you have the Great Rift. So I wonder if humanity should migrate southwest. What do we know?
Right. But yeah, that's crazy to think about how the warp is essentially tearing its way into real space bit by bit.
Yeah.
And it's like how much of it will actually ooze out.
All of it.
Hopefully.
Next question.
This one's by Oscar Dighton. Are there any gorillas in Warhammer 40K?
There's crabs.
Yeah. You've got the Jakero Weaponsmith, which is an orangutan. It's still an ape.
Yeah.
I mean, can it even be called an ape since it's like super smart and like can create like Green Lantern rings?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's the same as like monkeys or apes on Earth.
Yeah, it's like a different species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks like an orangutan.
And I'm pretty sure like there's apes somewhere in the system.
I wonder why. Like, I wonder when they created that for Rogue Trader, if there was just some guy who's like, hey, we got some extra molds of like these monkeys. What can we do with them? Just give it to the Rogue Traders. They'll figure out what it is. This question comes from Pero. Is it true that Fabius Bile is also known as Fabulous Bile Gates?
Ooh. I mean, maybe that's what happens to our current Bill Gates since the whole split. And he just goes into creating and mutating and just science and biology.
Yeah. Because he has always been really big. Like Bill Gates has been, not always, recently he has been really big about eradicating certain diseases. And maybe this breakup that he's having with his wife is going to push him down towards getting into CRISPR and like different genetic mutation stuff. And then he does develop some type of process to make Space Marines, but he uses them for himself. But instead of becoming the Emperor and doing the unification war here on Terra or on Earth, he will become Fabius Bile and goes crazy and wants to perfect mankind. But he himself is not really perfect. He's kind of nerdy looking, which is probably why his wife left him. So I guess we all just have to hit the gym now.
That's right.
That's the moral of the story of what I was just saying.
Mm-hmm. Money means nothing.
Nothing.
It's all about abs.
Yeah. Time to starve myself.
I mean, look at the Custodes.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
They get ass all the time.
That's right.
Why do you think they're with the Sisters of Silence? They do it so good, the girls don't even talk no more.
It's all anti-psycherness. Maybe that's how they become anti-psychers. Those abs.
Next question.
This one's by Aras. Are there any types of school systems in Warhammer 40K? I assume that the higher society has it, but what about the worker class? Or are they just trained enough to do what they're supposed to do? Sorry for the bad English.
No, you're good. And I think there is, so it's the Schola Progenium, and it's not really just the upper class or like the rich
the
people.
nobles, yeah. The bourgeoisie.
Yeah, what it is like if you are within the military high command, so I guess it is the rich, but like military rich. Mm-hmm. So if you're like a captain of a ship or something like that, you die. Your son and daughter enter into the Imperium Schola Progenium, and that's where they get like sisters, or they make sisters of battle, Tempestus Scions. They're basically not going to be grunts.
Right. But there are different schools depending on the type of world to like just get basic education. It all depends on the world. Really.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
because if you're in like a forge world, you're gonna need to know how to like build and like not so much mining raw materials, but like there is education that's needed.
Right. This question comes from Simon Teese. Between the Tyranids and the Orks, who would evolve to become immune to Nurgle's rot first? Probably the Tyranids.
You think so?
Yeah, they're way quicker. Like, I think with the Ork biology, it's very stable. Mm-hmm. To the point where, like, if the Orks realize that one other Ork is a little bit odd, like, odder than normal, I guess, yep, they kill it.
Yeah. That was going to be my reason as to why I think the Orks would be able to fend off the diseases. Because, again, if they feel the sickness, they're going to kill them off. Whereas the Tyranids, they have to get infected first, get that goop sent back to the hive mind, and then do what it does, and then send out new Tyranids that are immune to it.
Yeah, but that does bring up a good point then, and I just realized that the Orks are already immune then, kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
This one's by Martin Garces. Has a space marine or any other really powerful being ever just slipped and died? Like, what's the lamest death in all of 40K? I don't think any named character would have a death like that.
Right.
Like, I could see orcs having, like, gag deaths and stuff, but...
Yeah, there was... So going back to the first question that we answered when I was trying to figure out what that Imperial Guard regiment is, the one that wears the mask of the saint. Sabbat. Is it Sabbat? Sabbat World Crusade?
Maybe.
So in the Sabbat World Crusade, Sabbat himself, like the Lord Commander, I think he was, he died just out of illness. In reality, what probably happened is that one of his generals, or multiple of his generals, killed him. But I think that's probably one of the lamest deaths. It's just like, oh yeah, he died of just illness, just being sick. But it's like, it's the Imperium. You have Belisarius Cole living to 10,000 years, and this guy dies just because he got sick? That doesn't make any sense.
But I mean, that's all of, like, Nurgle's thing. It's like, we'll get you by getting you sick.
Yeah. Oh, but this was not like a Nurgle's rod or anything like that. This was just like he got syphilis and he died. Or something stupid like that.
Where, like, you're in this freaking galaxy, you can get the freaking, like, vaccine or antidote or whatever it is.
Yeah, last I checked, Lord Commander Sabbat would always wear his mask when he was indoors.
And look at him. He still got sick and died.
Yeah. What does that tell you? Wear more masks. Instead of wearing 2 like they tell you, wear 5.
Right. And put them in different parts.
Yeah.
Get that squiggly spooch covered. Can you remember the lamest death you had, like, one of your warlords face on the tabletop?
That's a good question. No.
I still remember. This was, like, back in 5th edition. I had my super souped up Tau commander ready to go in to, just smash things up. I think I had a bunch of fusion blasters, and it was against your orc warlord. Was it a mega armor knob?
Probably.
Or he had mega armor. So I shot him up. I brought you down to 1 wound, and I'm like, okay, I can take this. 1 wound, I can hit him in close combat. So I charge in. You don't kill me with Overwatch, because Overwatch is basically free back then.
Yeah.
Was Overwatch even a thing in 5th edition?
I don't know about 5th
Maybe
edition.
not, no.
Yeah.
So I charge in, and I whiff. And then you kill me.
I don't remember. I mean...
Because, like, this guy was, like... Obviously, it's not easy to kill an orc in close combat, but I mean, it's like, this is my HQ, my warlord. Like, I give him all the bells and whistles, and it's just one roll of, like...
Bad rolls.
Bad rolls, and I can't even do that.
Yeah. But that's probably because it's my warlord, too. So it's like warlord against warlord. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because do you remember one time, we've told this story before, but there was a squad of probably 20 Gretchen, and the opponent was the Flying Hive Tyrant. The Gretchen killed the Flying Hive Tyrant. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
My phone keeps falling. Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, that one was pretty funny. I'm trying to think now. Because there's been situations too, because now I play Speed Freaks, so I have the War Trike as my HQ, and sometimes the War Trike doesn't even get to hit. So like, I'll charge, for some reason I don't get in the charge, and then they'll shoot him up and he's dead, he's gone.
I've noticed that too. It's like, for some reason the trike isn't doing as good. Maybe because it's a tricycle and not a quadricycle.
It should be a quadricycle.
Oh, this one's by WAAAGH. Is it notably worse to be enslaved by orcs versus working deep in the sweatshops of human manufacturing worlds? I believe some of the workers are kept behind locked steel gates for their entire lives.
Where?
So what's worse, being enslaved to, like, the war machine of the Imperium or to orcs?
Oh, I think that you have to measure that through the ability of the individual to have opportunity, and with the Orks you have zero opportunity. With the Imperium, at least you have like a little bit of opportunity, because it's like, in order for those people, those workers not to revolt, I think they probably throw in like hierarchies. Like you have your supervisor, your manager, your supervisor, and your workers, and then tell your workers, no, you can make it to be a manager one day, when in reality they're all fucking slaves. You know what I mean? Whereas with the Orks, they don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, we'll make them fight each other for fun. We'll make them think they escaped, and then they sent, like, I don't know, Killicons to come get you.
Squigs.
Ooh, yes, squigs. This one is by Brian B. The scrolls of Sanguinius state that the devourer of souls and flesh will come for the emperor, and that a golden warrior will stand alongside the custodians and named warriors. They will fall, buying enough time for the emperor's mind to be made anew. The general consensus is that this warrior is Dante. Do you think that this theory will actually happen?
If it's coming from the Blood Angels, yeah. Or, well...
Because, I mean, then you have, like, the Great Hunt from, like, the White Scars.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, like, the theory of, like,
when the end
times, the wolf times. So there's overall, everybody has some type of, apocalyptic event that's going to destroy humanity, or will be able to destroy humanity. And that's what causes certain Primarchs to return.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these are 100% correct, but they're all correct in that there is going to be some type of big thing happening that will push the narrative of 40K to, like, a turning point.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be Dante, though. Because you also have to look at the popularity of, like...
the characters, yeah.
And he's cool and everything, but I think it should be, like, more broad.
Right, and it's like, why have Dante when you have Guilliman right there, who literally is a Primarch?
Right.
Like, it would make more sense to have the Emperor's son, like, actually protecting him.
Right.
Son, and, like, that he created him.
Right, not his, like, gene son. Even though...
I mean, yeah, he technically is a gene son.
Yeah. Next question comes from... Cool Minecraft. If the Custodes declared war, would they command Imperial armies? Sometimes, yeah. Like right now, what ended up happening is that the vaults, or not the vaults, I forget, the prisons on Terra, they opened up. I forget what they're called, dark something. But now the Adeptus Custodes are out in the galaxy trying to hunt down these things that were inside the
prisons.
The prisons, and yeah, sometimes they command Imperial Guard armies to help them out. But that's only when it's required.
Right, when it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah. Because they're still superhuman warriors, so they might just call them, like, do it themselves.
It's like, should I really put all these people to death? I mean, I could do it myself, but...
Well, usually it's like, other than. And then last question, do you got one?
The last question, well, we kind of already touched base on this one.
I have one from Tin Man for 40,000. Who is sneakier, a Catachan in a jungle or a Talaran in a desert?
Catachan, I'd say.
Yeah, same here.
Because it's the same thing that Arnold did against the Predator. He, like, put the mud all over his body and then stood up against a wall, and it's like, whew, invisible.
Yeah, you can't do that for the Talarans. Like, what are they going to do? Dig underneath the sand?
They could, and put a little popote out of their mouth
and
so they can breathe. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll still give it to the Catachan because it just sounds cool. A sneaky Catachan, not a sneaky desert Talaran soldier. Or Talaran soldier.
Right.
Those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
This has been The Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
And we are out.